So the new Superman movie just came out. I saw it probably like a week or two ago. This video was meant to come out around that same time I watched it, but I had other stuff on my plate, like a gaming channel and also another video in the works, but I guess we all know how that happened. I'm also coming into this without a script as usual, so if I am missing a few points or something, or if I'm stumbling a little bit, you'll know why. Heck, even with the script, I fumble with my words. Alright, let's get into this. So, a few things about this movie. This movie has had quite a lot of discourse with both the Snyder fans and the Superman glazers. I myself am not a Superman fan. I was always a Batman fan, and I thought The Flash was an interesting character. But then when I heard that the DCU was, going to be reset, I thought this would probably be an interesting way to see how it start. And to see it being Superman, I thought, not a bad choice. Because we did have a reset of the DCU, probably 10 years ago. And it being Man of Steel, I thought, okay, yeah. This Man of Steel is not also a perfect movie, but that's a whole nother can of worms I gotta open. But neither is this Superman movie, which I'm gonna start, ranting on right now. Did I like this movie? By the way, I will mention a few spoilers here and there, so sorry not sorry. Okay, now my first point, I'm gonna start with the story. I really liked the story of this Superman movie. It was pretty fun. I feel like all the pieces were there for the story, though I will say a lot of it did not follow through because there was too much stuff going on in that movie. You can tell that James Gunn wanted to put so much into it. He wanted to start his new franchise with a few things here and there, such as the Justice Gang, whatever the names were, and which I'll get to later. And he wanted to add in a nice subplot for Superman with his parents and all, both his space parents and his Earth parents, which you could definitely see was a great addition for the movie, of for the message to be it doesn't really matter where you came from, it mattered of what kind of person you were raised to be and not who you were born to be. And that was a pretty good message. I really liked that. I'm also gonna say a lot of things about this movie as of now. They added too much jokes into this movie, and I feel like it was a lot of it happened at the wrong time. There was a serious heart-to-heart moment with Superman and Lois, and when Lex Luthor kidnapped Superman's soul, Krypto, he was like, "Yeah, I gotta save him, but I don't really like this guy. I don't really like this dog." I'm like, come on, stop with the jokes. I mean, I like jokes. I like comedy and quips and all, but can you slow it down a little bit? There's also this whole void thing that went on. I mean, it looked cool. I felt like there was a lot of meandering here and there with the void place. I don't know. Anyway, let's get to the characters. I want to talk about the characters. Let's start with who left the biggest impression on me, that being Green Lantern and Mr. Terrific. Oh my god, those guys left the biggest impression on me, and I want to see more of them. And, I mean, Mr. Terrific and Green Lantern just stole the whole movie for me. They were just absolutely insane in every scene that they were in, and I loved all of it. Hawk Girl, I felt like, didn't do much. I mean, she did do one important thing, that being I forgot what his name was, but it was that weird governor guy. I don't remember his name, and I don't really care. He's dead, and and Hawk Girl was like, "I'm not like Superman," just like with Anakin be like, "I'm not like the other Jedi." I felt like with this movie there wasn't a whole lot of Clark Kent as I wanted there to be. There was 2 instances of Clark Kent just showing up and being mentioned here or there. And when it comes to a Superman movie, I mean, while I do want to see a lot of Superman. I do want to see a few bits of Clark Kent here and there, just to show how much of his life he needs to juggle with one being Clark Kent and also being Superman. I did want to see a lot of that, but I guess we have to show Superman in a Superman movie, which is fine. I don't care. With a lot of the few minor characters being Jimmy, Lois, all that, yeah, they were good this time around. I really liked how they characterized both Jimmy, Lois, and all that from the Daily Planet. They were pretty good. They were pretty good in their roles. Not a lot of them got the same spotlight. Jimmy, I felt, was a better character in this version than the one in Batman vs Superman. If you know, you know. Alright, right, yeah, that's right. Lex Luthor. Yeah, Lex Luthor is great in this one. I did feel a dramatic change with Lex Luthor from the first half compared to the second half. With Lex Luthor, there was this really dramatic moment of him actually being a threatening villain, which I really liked. He played Russian roulette with just a random guy that so happened to, be in contact with Superman, or just, had one instance where Superman talked to that guy for 1 second. And for him to torture Superman like that, I thought was actually a really great way of, showing what kind of a person Lex Luthor really is. I thought that was really great. And then with the second half, it was just Lex Luthor just being a little bitch boy and being giga incel, I guess, being like, haha, I'm big brain, you're small brain, and big brain beats small brain, and him being tossed around by Crypto. I mean, that joke was kind of funny, but I don't know, kind of made Lex Luthor a bit of a weakling than I would have wanted him to be. But I don't know. I haven't read the comics. I wouldn't know. Nicholas Hoult did a really stellar performance as Lex Luthor. I really liked. You could really tell how much effort he put into being Lex Luthor, and it was just great. It was just fantastic. I really liked it, and I'm looking forward to seeing him in future DC movies. I will get to Superman eventually, you guys. I just want to talk about the characters and everything. Oh, right. Speaking of which, that fucking Morph man, whatever his name is, Metamorpho, bro, he was great. I see him somewhere in, comic books and everything, and even in, some instances of Batman the Brave and the Bold, but seeing him was just stellar. He was a lot of fun to watch. I mean, I wouldn't say that he stole the whole movie like how Green Lantern and Mr. Terrific did, but he was up there with just being a really great character to watch and just entertaining. What else am I missing? Oh yeah, that weird dumb looking CGI baby that looks like it was done by an AI model. Yeah, what the fuck was that? Oh, Crypto was also a great character. I mean, it's not really a real dog. It was just a CGI model of James Gunn's dog that just got turned white and wears a red cape. But yeah, it was pretty fun. It was pretty fun just to see Crypto just being all dog-like. And I remember watching it in the theaters, being like, hey, he's kind of like my dog. And I'm like, yeah, that's how my dog would just usually act. And I just love that. I love that a lot. I did feel with this movie that so much and too much just happened at once. I will say that. And I think this is one of James Gunn's weakest superhero movies out of all movies. Whether it's Guardians of the Galaxy, Peacemaker, Suicide Squad, Creature Commandos, Superman is so far the weakest one. What else am I missing from this movie that I want to talk about? Oh yeah, that's right. By the way, if you haven't clicked off now, and if I haven't warned you of spoilers and you kind of just dismiss it, I'm gonna let off a big spoiler. For this part. Okay, ready? Okay, you've been warned. The Supergirl cameo was kind of great. Watching Supergirl on screen made me excited to see what comes next of Supergirl, and and I know that it's in the works right now, and it's like brilliant. We get to see Supergirl and a refreshed version of Supergirl, because the last time we got a Supergirl movie, it was shit. But the Supergirl TV show is pretty fine. I didn't mind it. Anyway, that's not what we're talking about. That's a discussion for another video. So yeah, that's spoiler done. I think I've said my piece over everything except how I feel about David Corenswet as being the new Superman. Well, let me tell you. Let me tell you how I feel about this new Superman. He did a great job. Do I think he's better than Henry Cavill? I honestly don't know yet. I think both Henry Cavill and David Corenswet, they're both two iterations of Superman. One has a more darker tone, one of them is more lighthearted. And I respect both of them for that. But for this Superman, for David Corenswet, I felt like he felt like a more humanized version of Superman, which is great, because I do like having to see a character and, you know, connecting with a character, which I think James Gunn was more going for, instead of just making Superman more godlike. That was another thing about the Superman. He got his ass beat a lot. I mean, he just kept in shit the entire time. It was like every scene, like you just see him just being like tossed around like a ragdoll. I mean, like, that's fine, because this might be his first time being Superman in like a couple of months. Like, how long has he been Superman? What, three years? Ah, jeez. But I felt like I kind of expected Superman to be more, you know, more experienced, more prepared, and more like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna fight against this guy. Okay, I can evade this guy's attacks. And I mean, I guess it does make sense for, you know, Lex Luthor to predict Superman's every move after three years or so with Ultraman. Oh yeah, Ultraman. I can't forget about Ultraman. Let me mention him really quick. Yeah, Ultraman was good. I was kind of scared for a moment when they released Ultraman. I'm like, oh, we're getting to there already. And I was kind of worried that it was going to be someone else's Ultraman. Because I knew in the comics, I'm not much of a comic reader, but I know few instances of comics that Ultraman is another Superman from another Earth. And he's an evil Superman. And I was kind of worried about this Superman. Turns out he was okay. No, that's all I can say. He wasn't bad. I mean, Superman clone, but just more dumb, but more brawn. I mean, that's fine. But it was pretty interesting to see. I didn't mind it that much. Anyway, back to Superman. Yeah, so I felt like what I liked about this most, about this humanized version of Superman. I just liked how he did really feel like the symbol of hope in this one, just like all the other Superman that came before. He did feel like an actual Superman, and I really liked that. One thing I didn't really like about this Superman, I don't really like the suit. I feel like it's a bit too baggy. If it was a little more tight, I probably would appreciate that more, because superheroes, well, like Superman, for this instance, wears a tight suit, and this suit right here is just, it's a bit too baggy. I'm just not a big fan of it. I'm not a big fan of it. If they had, because if you look closer, it's just, yeah, I'm not too big on the suit. Now, what do I think of this movie overall? It was a movie that I kind of had an expectation for. I was only just wanting like just a good Superman movie. I wasn't expecting anything too big out of this Superman. I was expecting probably like a 7 out of 10 Superman movie, or like a 6, like, I don't know. But the more I heard about it, the more I was worried about how it would turn out. Because the more stuff they have seemed to have added, the more I was like, this is gonna be very messy. Which the movie is. It is a bit too messy. Because there's a lot of stuff just happening at once. And it's just, you kind of have to like, you know, keep track of everything. Like, okay, so this is happening, this is happening, this is happening, okay. And it's kind of rough. It's kind of rough to do, have a movie that you want to expand more on this universe, while also trying to keep it, you know, simple, but while keeping it a simple and consistently good movie. And what do I think of this movie overall? What do I rate this movie out of 10? I'd say it's a 7 out of 10. I thought it was very fun. I really liked it. I'm pretty excited to see what James Gunn has next in store for Superman, and for the universe ahead and future projects. So James Gunn, you have given me a really good impression of this franchise so far. Let's hope it doesn't turn to shit. But knowing James Gunn, I know he's gonna do amazing. Alright guys, that was my thoughts, and I'll see you guys next time. Alright guys, peace out. Bye bye.